You are your habits. Hi guys, my name is Dina Danielle. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome. So I wanted to talk about how we are our habits. You really are the sum of your habits. And I got to thinking about this when I was speaking with my friends last week. One of my friends has unfortunately been cheated on, and her now ex had told her that he cheated. She said, "I wish he didn't tell me, because other than that, our relationship was so good. And if it was really just a one-time thing, then I wish he didn't tell me, and ignorance is bliss. I wouldn't have known. We'd still be together and things would be good." This got me thinking, because I feel like if you do something once, it's not a habit. And that's not necessarily the person that you are. I'm not going to go into whether or not he should have told her, if I think that's right or wrong. You know, every situation is different. But I think just if you do something once, you can make a mistake, right? Or you're not forming a habit out of that action. However, if you are a serial cheater, it's something, we're using cheating as an example right now. So if you are a serial cheater, it is something that you do all the time. You do it in every relationship, whether it's casual or it's serious or it's long-term or short-term, or it doesn't depend on who you're with. Then you are creating a habit, and you are definitely becoming that person. You are a cheater. If you just do it once, it's not a habit that you have formed. And so in the case with my friend, I think she knew that this person slipped up one time, and it wasn't something that he would necessarily do again. So this is just an example, but there are so many more examples of how you become your habits. So take exercise. Say you like to ride your bike. You like bicycling as exercise. If you do it once and you're not forming a habit around it, well, you're not gonna get any better. You're not gonna improve your endurance, your athleticism, your strength, your physique, if that's your goal. But if you create a habit around it, you start going every morning, or you go every weekend for a few months, fair to call yourself a bicyclist, and you have really become that habit. If you want to become something, it's just a matter of making that thing a habit, no matter what it is. So say you want to become a singer. It's a matter of singing. You do it once, singing along to a song in your car. Can you call yourself a singer? But if you create a habit around it, if you are practicing your vocals daily, if you are taking the time to learn the way that your voice works when there are different seasons and the different foods that you eat, because we are affected by that, how much water you drink, you really are becoming a singer or a vocalist. So these are a few examples of how we become our habits. Your old habits are who you are in the present moment if you haven't changed them. So if you have bad habits like drinking excessively, take that for example, you drink copious amounts of alcohol every time you go out with your friends, you drink at home by yourself, fair to call yourself maybe an alcoholic. However, if you change your habits, you can become a better version of yourself, a different version of yourself. Say you replace the alcohol with something healthier. Maybe you have a green juice at night, or you have a non-alcoholic beverage in place of it. You are becoming a healthier version of yourself. This is really good to know, because if you don't like the version of yourself you are right now, it's within your power to change your habits and change the version of yourself. You can always up level and learn and grow and evolve. For me, the habit of sleeping in late has been a really tough one to break, but I've definitely gotten better at that. It means going out late less. It means setting my alarm earlier. It means putting my phone outside my room so I can wake up earlier. This is a new habit that I have been forming to improve who I am. So instead of sleeping late into the morning, I am becoming an early riser. Fingers crossed. We have good habits and we have bad habits, and to change the bad habits, we need to recognize them first. So a great tip is to write down all your habits, both good and bad, on a piece of paper and analyze them, and then start removing the bad habits first. And you don't necessarily need to replace them with anything, although you can if it's really challenging to just kind of go cold turkey. So with the example of alcohol, if you are trying to drink less or quit drinking, then going cold turkey might work for you, but it also might be challenging. So if you can go cold turkey, then do that. But if it's too tough, then replace it with a non-alcoholic beverage or a healthier choice of drink. Another example would be on your screens less. To do that, you are going to want to replace it with another healthier habit like reading or exercising. This is different than a New Year's resolution, which a lot of people make in January and unfortunately don't keep to, because you don't necessarily recognize the habits that are forming your way of being and who you are. So you say, oh, I want to get here, but you don't recognize all the steps that it's going to take between point A to get to point B. So looking at your habits and what you're doing daily or weekly and really analyzing how it's affecting you mentally, emotionally, physically, financially is really important. If you can change your habits and change your routine, they say it takes 21 days to do this. If you can stick with it, then you can become the person you dream to be. We have a lot of unconscious bad habits too. So it might take something like someone else helping you to uncover what your bad habits are. That could be a friend, a family member, life coach, therapist, partner, etc., etc. For me, an unconscious bad habit is like cracking my knuckles. It's not something I ever think about because I'm like usually at home working, but if I'm in an environment like a movie theater or a show or, you know, in an office, then it's something I'm like hyper conscious of. So that's another bad habit that I do. And then you can also have an accountability partner. This is really helpful when you're starting a new habit and you want to stick to it and it's hard for you. So if you join a group around that habit or that sport or that exercise, that's going to help you stay accountable. Or you can just talk to a friend and be like, hey, let's do this together and let's hold each other accountable. So we're going to do this weekly or monthly or whatever it may be. It's good to have an accountability partner because it can be really hard at first to implement a new habit. Take for example brushing your teeth. That's a habit, but I bet you do it every morning before you go to work. I bet you do it every night before you go to bed, and it's not really something you think about anymore. It's just something that you do, and it's beneficial because obviously the health of your teeth and your gums and your mouth, like you need to be brushing your teeth, and it's a good habit. Another one is making your bed every morning. It's like it might take some consciousness and thought when you first start doing it, but after you get into the habit and the routine of it, it'll just be unconscious. You wake up, you get out of bed, and you make it. So starting it is really the hardest part, and that's why it's so helpful to have an accountability partner. Also, if you fall off the wagon, so to speak, with your new habit, don't get down on yourself. It's okay. You just start back up again the next day or the next week, whatever it is, and you keep going from there. There's no reason to beat yourself up if you forget to do it or you let it slide or you're too exhausted one day. It takes time to develop these new habits and for them to become routine. So I hope you guys really like this video and then it helps you form new habits, and be sure to click the thumbs up and the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. I'll see you in the next one.